Boys, Fantasy Champs here, back with another 10-team standard draft, non-PPR. We're drafting from the 7th spot. I'm going to crack one open before this draft. Perfect crack. And right here, boys, we're going to show you how to do a very balanced draft. We're going to anchor 4 to 5 positions here. And I was doing the quarterback early strategy. It's still not a bad strategy, but we're going to go balanced here, and we're going to go realistic with realistic players that you could get at certain positions. Like if McCaffrey's here at 7, I'm not taking him. I'm not taking, fake players at fake ADPs. So right here, at pick 7, we're going to take Cooper Kupp for our wide receiver 1. And essentially right here, you want to know your league. We're going to go receiver, running back, the first 2 picks. It's essentially like if you pick 1 through 5, those picks should pretty much be locked in. Like McCaffrey, Eckler, Henry, Chubb, JT, those should be the top 5 picks if you're 1 through 5. Now, I wouldn't hate you for taking JJ, honestly, early, and then getting Tony Pollard for your RB1. Like in my league, it's super running back heavy, so I know that I can get JJ at my 14th pick, and I'm going to be taking Pollard at 7. But in mocks like this, I just kind of take an elite receiver because JJ's gone, and I still get Pollard at 14 because people are sleeping on him. And guys, don't sleep on Tony Pollard. I think he had like 12 touchdowns and RB8 as a backup behind Zeke. So we have our elite receiver, and you could have gotten an elite running back here. So let's say you did have a running back here. You could go Diggs or A.J. Brown, really whoever you like more. I'd preferably go Diggs just because he has Allen. But we're going to go with Tony Pollard. Great offensive line, high-scoring offense. They're the number 1 scoring offense. When Dak came back, it was like week 6 or week 7 and on. They were scoring, I believe, 34 points a week. A lot of touchdowns to go there. So you're going to split it right here. You're not going to go running back. And the reason why is because say you go running back, after A.J. Brown, these guys suck. Like, bro, Amon-Ra Brown, I don't know what people are thinking. Look, bust. Like, this guy, I don't know what people are thinking, taking that for your 3rd pick in the 3rd round. It's a horrible pick, guys. Like, do not take him on St. Brown. Like, that guy should be going. That guy used to go last year that guy went like 10 to 15th round, and he got 150 points. So it's like he had 150 points last year. Jameson Williams is coming back week 6. It's like they just got a pass-catching running back. They drafted a tight end. Like, the guy's ceiling isn't going to get higher. He's probably going to score like 150 points, and he's going to be a boom-bust wide receiver 2, to where you could get Keenan Allen later, who's the exact same thing. You could get Mike Williams later, who's the exact same thing. You could get Scary Terry, who's the exact same thing, way later. All right, guys, so we anchored running back. We anchored receiver. Right here, we're going to anchor our RB2 with an RB1. If this was real, of course, I'm going ETN or Stevenson, but I'm going to act like they're not there. I'm going to take a more conservative approach and just kind of show you guys what I would do if not the most obvious picks were there. We're going to go Aaron Jones. He was RB11, and I believe he only had 2 rushing touchdowns. He had 5 total. So RB11 with 5 touchdowns. That should go up a lot. And that is pretty crazy that they have him projected for 3 touchdowns next year. Hopefully he gets more. Worst case, though, he's your RB2, so he's going to put up RB2 numbers, which is solid. Let me see real quick. See how many bust games we saw for Amon Brown? Listen how many see here. Bust, 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 bust. I mean, there is a lot of busts there, I'm not going to lie, but boom, 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 boom. A lot of booms there, and it's your RB2. You know, he's not in your wide receiver 1 spot busting that many times. So right here, it is standard. I know there are people out there still playing standard. There's people like us that, you know, we don't care to play PPR. We're not trying to change stuff. So right here, this is beautiful. We're anchoring tight end with Mark Andrews. Sorry about that. We're getting the number 2 tight end of the draft. And guys, if he is gone, I don't mind just going J.K. Dobbins there and absolutely just setting up your team with strong running backs, elite wide receiver. You actually, if your league lets quarterbacks slip there, I would definitely go, instead of Andrews there, I would go Allen, Mahomes, or Hurts. So you would have, let's say, Hurts, Pollard, Jones, Kupp, and you could be loaded like that. So that is the backup strategy. If Andrews is taken, look for one of the top 3 quarterbacks there. If Andrews and the top 3 quarterbacks are there, take the best running back available because the receiver tiers are going to be gone, and you're still going to get good running backs that can go in your flex. Like you could put Dobbins in your flex, you could put Gibbs in your flex, you could put Sanders in your flex, James Conner in your flex, and then kind of after that, you could focus on, you know, quarterback and tight end, but that's only if Andrews is gone. So here we have anchored our RB1, we have anchored our RB2 with technically an RB1, we've anchored our receiver with an elite wide receiver 1, and we've anchored our tight end with a tight end that could finish as the number 1 overall tight end. So here is where you want to typically go quarterback and running back. We're shooting for Herbert. Don't know. So there's a lot of running backs here still. So since there's I like, and that's going to be your flex, we're going to get Herbert here. And a quick little stat on Herbert. So Dak Prescott was quarterback, I believe it was 7, 10, and 14. And then when Kellen Moore came there to be the OC, Dak became the quarterback number 2 on the year. And he had more attempts, more completions, more touchdowns, more yards. Everything went up. So using those metrics, I'm thinking Herbert is he has top 2 upside, but he should finish top 5. So if you're getting a top 5 quarterback here, he's going to be a pretty high scorer. So I wouldn't really call this an anchor. I would only call it an anchor at quarterback if you get one of the top 3 guys. But we still have 1, 2, 3. We still have 4 anchors on our team. And technically an anchor to me, in my opinion, just means it's an elite player at your position, and the more anchor positions you get, the more upside your team has and the bigger ceiling your team is. So Dobbins went. I would have loved to get Dobbins here. And we're going to focus on our wide receiver 2 later. We're making sure all of these positions are powerful, and the wide receiver 2 is going to be one of the weaker spots along with the tight end, but since our tight end's strong, we're just going to leave our wide receiver 2 weaker. Because look at the tiers here. None of these guys are going to win you a league. None of these guys are just league winners when the Cowboys defense could be a league winner. So here we're going to get our flex. We're going to go we'll go Cam Akers. I like any of these guys here. Don't mind any of them. Just take who you like. Sanders, Montgomery, great option. Alvin Kamara, great option. Rashad White should get volume, good option still. It is your flex, so you don't have to worry about it too much. So right here, we have starting running back, elite receiver, elite tight end, pretty elite quarterback. I mean, Justin Herbert did finish as the quarterback 2 just, I believe, 2 years ago. So you're looking at a big ceiling for your team. So right here is where you're gonna wanna balance the tiers of receivers. Is Marquise Brown that different from Michael Thomas? In my opinion, no. Is Odell Beckham that different from Brandon Cooks? In my opinion, no. I don't mind if Brandon Cooks or Odell Beckham is my wide receiver too. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to still take Montgomery's on the board, get my running back depth solid, and you have to remember you can use this as trade bait. If this guy pops off and the guy that has Kelsey needs a running back, you could target Kelsey. You could send Mark Ingram and David Montgomery and get Kelsey at tight end. I'm going to teach you guys trading techniques like these to help you win your championships this year. I've done 2 years where I won over a $1,500 pot. I was the biggest trader in the league. In 2019, I had 42 trades, and last year I had 35 trades. Everyone always makes fun of me for it. They said I blow my team. I traded my team away, and then I always get the last laugh with like a $1,600 pot. I'm going to teach you guys simple things like that to where, let's say you draft Cooks there and he's here. No one's essentially trading for Cooks. He's not going to be a league-winning guy. When David Montgomery could be like a Jamal Williams, who is a league winner. People drafted Jamal Williams last year late, and they used him for trade bait, and they upgraded big time. Like, you could have had Goddard and Jamal Williams and package him to the Kelsey owner if he needed a running back. So you have to think like that when you're drafting these guys. All right. So here, I would 100% take Alvin Kamara here. And pretty much, I wouldn't be done with my running backs, but I still like Kamara. I like P. Ryan. I like Brian Robinson. I like Jamal Williams. Who did he take? Kirk Cousins. Okay. We don't need a tight end, so we don't even need to be looking at that. So honestly here, I mean, you have a decent option. Here we'll go, all right, yeah, we'll go Drake London. We'll fill in our wide receiver too. He has some upside. He is on the most rushing offense in the NFL. The Falcons average like 33 rushes per game, so it's not. My wide receiver too. Like, I don't need him to pop out. Essentially, like I need him to do what he did at the end of the year. I need him to come out and have 7 points, 4 points, 12 points, 9 points. That's what I need him to do. Because I'm going to have Herbert carrying. I'm going to have my strong running backs carrying. I'm going to have Kupp carrying. I'm going to have Andrews carrying. I'm going to have my flex carrying. I'm going to have my defense also carrying points. And guys, this year, you do not want to pass up on the Cowboys defense. I've done this in every video, and I'm going to stress this so much. Just look at this. You have an RB1 here. You have boom, 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 boom. This is an RB1 that you're putting into your... Oh, huge thunder, guys. You have an RB1 that's being put into your defense. Let's hope the power doesn't go out. There is a big storm outside. But you're going to want to snag this defense. Snag the defense early. When you're at this point, if you play with kickers, I would go kicker just to get Tucker in there. There is an advantage of having the best defense and the best kicker. If you have a defense that, what do they have? 153 divided by 17 games. Let's see what the average is there real quick. So we have 153 divided by 17. So that's almost 10 points per week on average that you're getting an advantage. Remember, that's an average of 10. So some weeks it's 17, some weeks it's 8, some weeks it's 14. In my opinion, this year, elite defenses are going to become a thing. So we do have 4 running backs still. I do like Cook. So we're going to go Michael Thomas here. just because we only had 2 receivers. Michael Thomas is another guy I like. I told a lot of people to pick him last year. He went off, he was doing good, and then he got hurt. But look at what happens if he doesn't get hurt. Now, you don't want to just not draft people because they could get hurt. I understand guys like Rashad Penny who only averaged 6 games for their entire career. But with Michael Thomas, we're getting him this late. If he ends up not getting hurt, he should be a solid wide receiver too for you. So at this point, there's 2 more people you really want to target. The rookie receivers, Elijah Moore and Kadarius Toney. Is Kadarius Toney gone? So we have a little bit of ways till Quentin Johnson. I think somebody took Kadarius Toney. I do like him a lot, but Elijah Moore and Quentin Johnson are other guys. We're going to take here Jamal Williams and pretty much be done with our running back positions. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 running backs here. We should be pretty set, and the thing is we can pick up Malik Davis for free way later. We could trade for probably A.J. Dillon for very cheap, and we could get, I believe, Sony Michel or Kyron Williams. We can get these guys and handcuff them for free pretty much to where we don't have to draft people early to take up a spot, just because it is good handcuffing your guys. Let's see here. So we have an elite defense. So I would say anchor. I would say kind of an anchor here at flex. We definitely anchored tight end. We anchored receiver. We anchored RB2 and RB1 just because Aaron Jones, in my eyes, is an RB1, and we have him at the RB2 position here. So the running backs at this point, Damon Harris is one of the only other ones I like just because he could be the guy that they put in on the goal line. And if James Cooks gets hurt, then he's going to see a ton of opportunities. He's still down there a bit, so here we're going to go... We'll go Quentin Johnson here. I'm going to wrap this draft up, but the rest of my picks would definitely be getting Tucker early, huge advantage at kicker. I would also be getting Elijah Moore. He's had a ton of buzz at camp. He's caught a ton of touchdowns, and he should be the wide receiver 2 on a decent offense here. We're going to grab Damon Harris here and officially be done with our running backs. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're set on running backs here. In my eyes, this is a perfectly balanced team. The only weak spot that I see here is wide receiver 2, and we're drafting enough of them to where we can replace them. You know, if London kind of busts and Thomas has a good week 1, we can put Thomas in. If Big Mike gets hurt, we can have Quentin Johnson go in. If Keenan Allen gets hurt, we have Quentin Johnson still. If London does have a sophomore surge, then boom, look, our wide receiver 2 hit. And then we also still have Elijah Moore, who Deshaun Watson and the Browns should be passing a bit more. Possible he'll break out. He's going to be our last pick of this draft. But I hope you guys enjoyed the draft. If you could subscribe, it does help me out a lot. We're almost at 30 subs. That is my goal before the season starts. If you have any questions, put them in the comments and I'll answer. But this is the balanced approach if you want to go super balanced and have a strong team at multiple positions. This creates just a huge ceiling. You know, if Akers doesn't do good, you have the Cowboys defense that can make up for it. If Herbert doesn't do good, you have strong running backs to make up for it. You have a big ceiling here, and I hope you guys liked the video. Please subscribe, leave a thumbs up, and comment. And always, peace, champs.